Thanks, Space Rogue. I've got a story that should, but probably won't, deal a significant blow to offshore IT. Let's just say all that money you saved by outsourcing your operations to India might come in handy in the lawsuits that come of it. First, Host Exploit reported that within a British TV investigation, presenter Chris Rogers contacted 2 Indian salesmen through a chat room posing as a marketing executive. Rogers successfully purchased 116 medical files with detailed records of British patients. The 2 salesmen, let's just call them D and Bags, reportedly said the files came from an Indian transcription center where medical records are computerized. Now Wired News is reporting that Obama's stimulus package includes incentives for healthcare providers to translate paper health records into digital ones, which isn't a bad thing. I know firsthand how helpful an EMR can be, but rightfully they went on to cite the cautionary aforementioned incident as well. A while back, Fox News reported that sysadmins at a World Bank data center that had been outsourced to Satyam Computer Systems, one of India's largest IT companies, were found by forensic investigators at Mandiant to have installed keystroke loggers on crucial systems. Guess what? This allowed some unknown outsiders, trace routed only as far as China, to pillage one of the largest repositories of sensitive data about the economies of every nation repeatedly for more than a year. It's clear why actual production data was compromised. The custodians of the sensitive data entrusted that data to someone outside the jurisdiction of their own laws or any form of supervision. I wonder if their customers, or a jury, care how much money that saved them. The data center is not the same as the call center, people. If you can't see and act upon the difference, you shouldn't be allowed to play in businesses that give you access to sensitive data. Or any data, for that matter. That's it for me this week. This is Courtney for the Hacker News Network. Back to you, Space Rogue.
Thanks, Courtney. Wiresoft, a network security company, has turned to an often used gimmick to get some free publicity and an inaccurate beta test for their new FireGate firewall product. The Hacker Challenge. Wiresoft is offering up a whopping $24,000 to anyone who can break into their, quote, unbreakable firewall within 24 hours. The challenge starts on November 16th. These sorts of gimmicks always sound good on the surface, but $24K? I know security researchers that won't get out of bed for that kind of chump change. So Wiresoft ends up with tons of free publicity, like we're giving them right now, and a false sense of security when no one with any skill decides to show up. Last week we told you about a user in the Netherlands who goes by Pure Infinity, who used the default password on jailbroken iPhones in a half-hearted attempt to extort money from iPhone users. Well, now, users of jailbroken iPhones in Australia have suffered a fate almost as bad. They've been rickrolled. An iPhone worm written by Ike, aka Ashley Towns, travels from iPhone to iPhone via the default SSH password of ALPINE. The worm then changes the background wallpaper to one of Rick Astley with the words, "Ike is never going to give you up." Hopefully the next version will actually play the video. Remember, people, change your damn passwords. And in a related story, iPhone Privacy A is another iPhone worm that infects jailbroken iPhones via the same SSH hole, only this one isn't as friendly as Rick Astley, and instead steals all of your personal data like contacts, email, SMS messages, photos, calendars, etc., etc. Remember, people, change your damn passwords. We'll be right back with the HNN Quickies right after these messages. Welcome back to HNNCast. And now for a few quick stories we found on the net this week. Last week we told you about a new massive hole recently found in SSL, the protocol that pretty much secures the internet. Well, OpenSSL has released a new version, OpenSSL 0.9.8. Note that this update doesn't actually fix anything, it just simply removes the TLS SSL renegotiation from the package by default. WordPress 2.8.6 has been released to address 2 security issues, a cross-site scripting vulnerability and the sanitation of uploaded file names. WordPress, patch, and patch again. Researchers have found a new botnet and dubbed it Festi. Festi has quickly grown and now accounts for 3 to 6% of daily spam, or about 1.5 to 3 billion emails a day. You may have read the story by the Associated Press about child porn infecting viruses that supposedly deposit child porn on random computers. Unfortunately, the story only contained anecdotal stories, no mention of actual viruses, no code samples, or other hard evidence. While I'm sure such nastiness exists, it'd be nice to be able to conclusively identify it on a victim's computer. It looks like Unu's blog has been taken offline, we assume on purpose. Unu, a Romanian who often pointed out SQL injection flaws in high-profile websites such as RBS, HSBC France, and most recently BarackObama.com, would detail the SQL issues on his blog. We hope that the blog returns soon. We enjoyed reading it. The Zeus botnet appears to be an equal opportunity botnet and doesn't just target Twitter and Facebook users. Zeus has now begun going after MySpace users as well. You remember MySpace, right? This attack starts with a phishing email which leads to a fake MySpace login page which then prompts the user to download and install new software. Malware writers aren't resting on their laurels and are constantly adding the latest and greatest technologies to their creations. The newest seems to be using the Google App Engine as a command and control function. Researchers have found at least one piece of malware using this new channel for CNC. ClubHack, to be held in Pune, India in December, has opened its registration. Remember, register early and often. The DEFCON.org website has a snappy new look and feel. They also plan to post the videos from DEFCON 17 real soon now if they haven't done so already. For at least the third time, Britney Spears' Twitter account has been compromised. This time, tweets about how much the pop star loves Satan were posted. I guess Lucifer's on her radar. Gordon Mayer has updated his master's thesis, The Social Organization of the Computer Underground, originally released 20 years ago with a new introduction, background, and additional commentary. Of course, you can find the original for free online, but all proceeds from this new version will be donated to the EFF. If you've never read it, I highly recommend picking up a copy. Awards for the Cybersecurity Awareness Week were given out at New York University's Polytechnic Institute this weekend, and HNN was there. Participants included students from across the country and celebrity judges such as Dino, aka DDZ of Karma fame. We will bring you all the exciting results in an upcoming release. Oh, and now you can check us out on Roku. Don't have a Roku? You can pick one up through Amazon or in the HNN store on our website. And now for this week's Stack of Shame, the list of all known open vulnerabilities as cataloged by the Zero Day Initiative. Yep, HP is still the bottom dweller. Over 1,100 days and counting. Oh, you probably heard that HP is going to buy 3Com. Well, 3Com owns Tipping Point, which runs the Zero Day Initiative. I guess that's one way to get yourself off the list. Of course, we hope that they don't really mess with the list other than fixing their vulnerabilities, of course. That's it for this week's HNNCast. I've been your host, Space Rogue, and you've been watching the Hacker News Network.
Remember, if you have any news you think we should report, send it to news@hackernews.com. You have been watching HNNCast. This is Space Rogue for the Hacker News Network.
Funny do bad things.